Hello, my friends. Welcome to the Secrets of a Witch podcast with me, Sabrina Scott. On this podcast, I talk all about life, love, spirituality, healing, trauma, what else? Tarot, witchcraft, a million other things. And before we get rolling today, I actually wanted to apologize for the somewhat wonky sound in my last few episodes. On some of them I can hear it when I re-listen, and some of them I can't. And I've heard it doesn't bug most of y'all, but I just wanted to address it. So it is my massive air conditioner, because Toronto has been in like a perma heat wave for the last few months, like entire summer. So I can't live without my AC right now, you guys. So my apologies, and hopefully y'all can just zone it out like I'm zoning it out right now. Okay, so anyway, today's episode is a little bit of a complex topic, and this is something I maybe should save for a Sunday service theme. And if you guys think it's interesting, maybe we can actually do a deeper dive on a Sunday service over on YouTube where you guys can interact and give your thoughts about this. And it's a little bit hard to explain, but it's something that's really on my mind today for some reason. And I made a thread about it, and the thread basically said that there is a particular type of person who will 1 minute love you, be inspired by you, put you on a pedestal, and then the next minute block, delete you from their entire existence. And I feel like sometimes people do this with people they're inspired by, because the person then reminds them of their own failure at the thing that they were inspired to do by the person that they're blocking. So stick with me here. I know this is kind of complicated, but it's something I've noticed like in the space. And I feel like it's happened to me. I feel like it's happened to other people that I know who work in the spiritual teacher, influencer, wellness, inspirational space, where a big part of what we do, and honestly what I see as a big part of my own life mission, is to inspire people. Like, honestly, if I inspire one person today, I consider that a massive success. And if I inspire one person to go after their dreams, have higher standards, say no when things don't feel good. Like, if I can inspire people to know that there's a better life out there and they can heal and they can move on from the horrible things that they've experienced, then I consider that a win. And it's something I really want to leave people with, because I know that I needed that inspiration at many points in my life. I have definitely been at the darkest places that someone can ever go in my life, and I know that I needed that inspo content. I needed that, and it is other people inspiring me is a big part of why I am who I am today, and why I do what I do, and why I make the type of content and work and art and writing and coaching and all of that I do, because I really want more for people, and I believe that we can all win. And I don't think that life has to be sad or miserable. I really do think that we can enjoy it, we can love it, we can heal, etc. And anyway, I have seen some folks get inspired, whether by me or by someone else, in the kind of inspo wellness space, and try to start their own businesses. And I love that. I do it. Why not? Like, if you've got something to say, if you've got some skills to help folks, if you want to help other people transform your life the way that your life has been transformed, I always say, yeah, go for it. Why not? But I've noticed that a lot of folks who get inspired by people like me sometimes end up resenting us when they realize that, oh yeah, shit, this is not an overnight success thing. This is not just make 3 posts on Instagram and then boom, profit. Like, that is not how it works. It is not as easy as people think it is. A lot more goes into it than people think it does. People who have online businesses are, we're so many different things. We're the talent, we're the creative director, we're the videographer, we're the marketing director, we are the copywriter. Like, we are everything. And there's so many different skills that go into this work, and it takes so much time and energy to build. And it's interesting because, like, I never really necessarily set myself out to be like a business inspo person like that. Like, can I teach business? Absolutely. Do I sometimes teach business 101 in my coaching environments and sometimes in a consulting context? Absolutely, I do. I love it. I think it's really, really fun. But if you've been on my channel, like, you'll notice that it's not really like start a business tomorrow. Like, that is not really like the type of content I'm making. I don't really brand myself as a full-time business coach because I'm not. My main work is spirituality, growth, healing, life transformation in all ways, and the branding piece is something I can speak to, and the business stuff obviously I can speak to. But I do find it really interesting, though, aside from how this relates to me and why I find it kind of funny and interesting, is human nature is so fascinating to me. Take myself out of the whole thing. Not really super relevant, but the point here is more this interesting aspect of human behavior that I'm noticing in this kind of example that I've given here. And again, it's not only me that I've noticed this with, it's other folks I know in this space too who've had similar experiences. And I think it's so interesting that sometimes folks will resent the person who inspired them to do something or to try something or to, start a business or live life a certain way or whatever. They'll resent that when their first attempts fail, and then they will resent the person, hate the person, block, delete the person, demonize the person, etc. When in reality, failure is so normal. Like, it's actually kind of the first step to success. And another example actually just popped in my head. I remember some of the earlier days of the pandemic, actually no, before, like 2019 was really when I decided to start kind of shifting my own mindset around business. And I was like, you know what, I really am not vibing teaching at the university. I had taught there for like 4 to 5 years. Honestly, which number is accurate, I don't remember at this point, but I was teaching and it's kind of stopped resonating with me. So before the pandemic even fucking happened, I decided that I was going to really explore this whole online courses, online business thing, especially since I had just been a university professor. Teaching was something I knew how to do. I could create a course. I've been doing that at the university level for years, so I can make an online course. And so I decided to share some of what I was learning with someone who was a friend of mine at the time, including like the people who were mentoring me at the time. And I felt so horrible because that person, when her and I stopped being friends, because of reasons that I'm not going to get into because it's not fucking really relevant, but basically this person then started slandering my mentors all over the internet and also slandering me all over the internet. And I felt so bad that my mentors got dragged into this mess. Like, I was just trying to do this girl solid and be like, hey, what these people have to say about business has really changed my life, and I think it might be helpful for you. Like, if you want to make a similar change, like, let's do it together. And again, I just felt horrible, and it was something I'd never really seen before. And it's honestly something I hadn't really thought about until recently when I've started to see it a little bit more often. And I don't know if she just reacted in this intense way, calling them scammers and all of this shit because her own attempts at monetizing and growing her business failed. So instead of taking personal responsibility for where she could grow and improve and taking failure in stride, she decided to demonize these people who are teaching business and did absolutely nothing wrong. Like, I learned from them and I was able to find success. So, and like, I understand that failure can suck. Like, I get that. I failed like a bazillion times before in my life, and in order to be successful at anything, we really have to learn to not super care about failure and rather learn to take notes, to not take it personally. I remember when I was a little undergrad at illustration school back in the day, and There was this professor who constantly would make people cry in his like vicious critiques of their work. And whenever he would critique my work and I would go up to the front of the class to stand by my painting and, take it, I brought a notebook and I wrote down everything that he said. I was like, tell me more. Because it's only through doing that you can actually improve. And I was a little kid, I was 18, 19. Did I know anything? No, not really. And I knew that my paintings were not good enough to ignore what he was saying because his feedback was all correct. And, I might have mixed feelings about that gentleman now, but I'm so fucking grateful that I had him as a prof for multiple years because he taught me so much. And yeah, he was hard to please and he had a bit of a tough love approach. Like if you guys have seen the film Whiplash about a music teacher, like you will understand like kind of this guy's vibe. And I'm so grateful for how hard he ran us and how critical he was of the work that we were making, because I would not be as good of an illustrator artist as I am today if it wasn't for that tough love. And I also wouldn't be where I'm at now in terms of my art if I hadn't taken notes. If I had just said, fuck him, I can't believe he hates my shit, he's a loser, he doesn't know anything, whatever, he is to blame for my shitty painting, my paintings would still be shitty, right? And criticism and failure, what's coming up to me to say is that it's actually so beautiful. It's so important because then we can improve what we're doing. We can troubleshoot. And of course, don't take criticism from people that you don't respect. I think that goes without saying. I valued his criticism because he was a fucking amazing illustrator. Fantastic work. Truly like brilliant stuff that he was making. And, I wanted to learn from that perspective, and I did. So don't listen to some random idiot on the internet who's like, got no credentials, has no presence, has no perspective, has no education. You don't need to listen to the random bots on the internet and, the random haters saying shit. No. That's not the type of criticism I'm talking about. I'm talking about actual critique from a professional in your field who knows something that you don't and who has achieved things that you have not achieved. Those people are the ones who are going to have relevant criticism that you're going to want to learn from, take notes from, and be humbled by gratefully. And I think that's really, really important. And I think it's so crucial to look at failure when we put ourselves out there and try something. It's so important to look at that as a growth experience, as a learning experience, as something that is a joy to experience, even if it fucking sucks in the moment, like it can really be a bummer to put your heart into something and be like, oh, I'm gonna go out into the world and do ABC like this person, and the first time you try it flops. Like, that doesn't mean that you should give up, and it doesn't mean that you were wrong to be inspired, and it doesn't mean that the person who inspired you is an asshole or a scammer. It just means that you're new and fresh and you have more to learn and more to do and more to try before you find that success. There are so many stories of success where it took someone a lot of tries to hit the jackpot and really resonate. And some examples that come to mind are J.K. Rowling with the Harry Potter books. I think she tried so many, like a bazillion different places before she got accepted. And I think the same is said with the guy who created Squid Game, which was like a massive hit during the pandemic. I think there's been more seasons since that I have not watched at all. But that was like the whole entire world was watching that, which is crazy. And I think he had tried to shop that for quite a long time before he finally found that success. And imagine he had given up. Imagine J.K. Rowling had given up. Imagine at the first rejection, either of them had been like, fuck the authors that inspired me to write this book, because clearly this is not working. This whole thing is a scam. So if you fail at something, don't resent the people that inspired you to try, and don't resent yourself. No one is to fucking blame. Like, we are all new at stuff sometimes, and growing pains and growing periods are totally normal as we are getting out of our comfort zone and trying new things. And this is especially true with spirituality. It's especially true with something like business, which is so constantly changing, and especially online business, constantly changing. And I just don't feel like resentment of our original inspirations is a really good way to spend our time. It just isn't. And so if you find yourself looking to blame people who inspired you when you fail at the thing that they inspired you to do, don't blame the inspiration. Don't blame yourself for being inspired. And don't blame yourself for failing. It just is what it is. Just let it go. Laugh it off. Don't take it so personally. See it as a learning experience and try again. That's the only way to get better at anything. And it's the only way that success becomes more in our proximity. I really think that the world would be a better place if people took things less personally and had their ego less wrapped up in a lot of these things. It's okay to try. It's okay to fail. It's okay to have hope. It's okay to have big dreams. And it's okay if it takes some time to achieve those. It's okay if it takes some time to, I don't know, have that trial and error and have some wins and have some losses and have some disappointments. And that's just part of the game. That's just part of life. That's just how things are. And all of it is useful. All of it is beautiful. All of it is, I think, teeming with possibility. And I think when we are in a space of resentment, it's such a waste of time and it sucks our energy. It changes our vibe. And it's just a waste. Wouldn't you rather use that energy that you would have spent being resentful? And instead of being resentful, work on something fun. Try your next attempt at whatever it is you fucked up. Try something new. That's what life is all about. And I think a lot of people waste a lot of their life being resentful, being in regret, being in these emotions. And I'm not saying like spiritually bypass, and I'm not saying don't feel your feelings. Feel them, but right size your feelings. Don't make a mountain out of molehills. Feel your feelings and move on and know when it's time to just keep it rolling. And I think that time to keep it rolling is a lot sooner and faster than a lot of folks might want to admit. So try stuff, fuck up, fail, laugh it off, keep going. That is my message for today. And if someone inspired you, don't resent them. Be thankful that you felt inspired, that someone has given you that spark to try something new, to dream a little bit bigger. Don't resent them for the fact that you're not an exact embodiment of where they're at just yet. You're on your own journey. We're all on our own journey, and no two journeys are the same, and they shouldn't be. We all have a unique path to walk, and I think that's such a beautiful thing. Okay, that's it from me for now. A little short one for today. Much love, my friends, and be sure to check out the YouTube video for today, since we are on the first day of August. So in that video, I go over what is the tarot for the month ahead, the month of August, and I hope you guys really enjoy it. And make sure to mark your calendar as well for this Sunday service on YouTube. Don't know exactly what the topic is going to be yet. We'll see. And of course, please check out my Feminine Energy Bootcamp, which is launching next week. But you can sign up right now. The early bird price is still activated from now until the 8th of August. And you can learn all about that at sabrinamscott.com/bootcamp. And I hopefully will see you there and have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Much love. Bye. Mwah.